Mahatma Gandhi once said, "A nation's culture resides in the hearts and in the souls of its people." Hi, I'm Elena Pata. I'm a student living in Managua, Nicaragua, and I have a curiosity for culture. For the past 4 months, I've been traveling with some of the best girls you could ever imagine.
So your first hitchhiking trip? Yes. We're gonna be drinking the rum, listening to the waves crash on the sand.
And a few weeks ago, me and these girls journeyed to Little Corn Island on the eastern side of Nicaragua.
We're on our first domestic flight to Corn Island.
What I found there was unlike anything I've ever seen before. It was like a whole new different country for me. The culture was completely different. Everyone spoke English.
Two yellow girls are missing. Two yellow girls are missing. We suspect that they're at Alex's house.
Air conditioned.
In an air conditioned room.
Yeah.
And the food was far from the beans and rice I had every day in Managua.
Is it good? Is it good, Anna? It's amazing. Yeah.
As the trip came to an end, I returned back to Managua, and I wondered why. Why was it so different on the eastern side? Why the differences in culture, food, and language? So with curiosity, I started searching for answers. I met with local experts on culture, talked with locals in Managua, and even traveled hundreds of miles to the Caribbean side to find out how things got to be the way they are. This is the story of the east and west of Nicaragua. According to the French researcher Jean-François Bayard, he believed that a set of conditions or history creates the culture. So we look back at Nicaragua's history. Before Spaniards came, Nicaragua consisted of 3 main tribes: the Nicarano, Chirotega, and the Chantal. The tribe's people were diverse, had their own dialects, and made symbolic crafts. But in 1522, conquistadors Gil Gonzalez de Avila and Francisco Fernandez de Cordova came to the western side of Nicaragua in hopes to find riches and convert people to Christianity. When the Spaniards met the tribe's people, they gave them 2 options: either convert to Christianity or die. Many of the indigenous people picked the other option. So this led to countless wars, and soon, the original population of 700,000 Nicaraguans quickly turned to a measly 35,000 because of war and sickness. Since the Spaniards' arrival, the faces of Nicaragua completely changed. There was Spanish influence everywhere. Colonial towns with Spanish-inspired names such as Granada and Leon and cultures began to intertwine with the indigenous and the Europeans. On the other hand, on the eastern side of Nicaragua, there was less of a Spanish influence because the Spaniards never really conquered there. They did not see the Caribbean side as an important location because it lacked natural resources and the distance was too vast. However, around the 17th century, the British began using the Caribbean side as strategical ports for British ships. You can see a lot of British influence by the construction of the houses and the names of the islands and towns. For example, El Bluff Island, Corn Island, and Bluefields. To find out more about the different cultures, I headed to my university, Universidad Americana, and I spoke with Dr. Rina Alvarez, an expert on culture.
In a way, though, it was in a way like not living in Nicaragua. You felt like you were in a foreign country. I think that they have gotten more of a hold of their own place now. I think they run their place much more than before. But they used to be that they spoke English, they ate something different, they wanted to run their government their way and their education their way. Now I think there has been a bit more, 3 years, a bit more interchange. And Pacific governments have tried to bring them in and dominate them, starting with Celaya in the 1800s, and he couldn't do it. And Somoza tried to incorporate them more into the Pacific. He gave up. And then the Sandinistas tried in a real harsh way to bring them in, and they couldn't. And finally now they have given them their autonomy. You have the North, Región Autónoma Norte, and the RAS, Región Autónoma Sur. So that's the way that the Atlantic Coast, that area is divided. So it tells you that they have finally managed to get some of their autonomy, because the regions are called RAN and RAS. Región Autónoma Norte, right? Autonomous region from the north, and Región Autónoma Sur.
To find out more about the eastern side of Nicaragua, I decided to take the long journey from Managua to Bluefields. Okay, so the plan is to take a bus from Managua to El Rama, and from El Rama take a boat on the river, the Rama River, and land in Bluefields. Alright, I'm all set. Got my backpack, got my snacks, right, and I'm gonna go head over to the buses to Bluefields now. Whew, excited. Alright, there's my bus. The next 6 hours. After my 10-hour journey, I found myself on a rainy day in Bluefields. But nonetheless, I met up with my friend Osa, who has been living there for the past 6 months. She helped me get to know the locals, and of course, we had a great time. Oh my gosh! Yay! Piscina! All these kids! Hola.
Hello.
Spent the whole day with the kids at the pool. Super fun time. Kids loved it. During my first few days in Bluefields, I noticed some things right off the bat. First off, the food was immensely different compared to the food in the West. Here, the food contained mainly seafood dishes. Fresh caught fish, shrimp, crabs, and even turtle was a staple here in Bluefields. Another thing I noticed was they did not have a lot of chain businesses. There were only 2 major Western chains which I saw in Bluefields, Payless and Radio Shack. Instead, Bluefields has many specialized stores that sell food, electronics, shoes, and other necessities. With many small businesses, me and my friend Osa had to stop at 5 different stores just to get the ingredients we needed for the curry we made for dinner. Made dinner in Bluefields with Osa and Mama de Osa. Hola! Hola! I really wanted to find out what life was like in the East Coast, so I interviewed Cecilia Manguia, who has been living in Bluefields her whole life.
Bueno, mi nombre es Cecilia Munguía. y soy de Nicaragua, la costa Caribe. Tengo 57 años. Bueno, en la mañana yo trabajo en el comercio, vendo chinelas plásticas y salgo desde las 8 de la mañana y llego a casa a las 5 de la tarde. Me gusta mi trabajo porque me queda cerca de mi casa y puedo también ver a los niños. Bueno, aquí nací y sí me gusta. He viajado por el Pacífico y me gusta más mi lugar. Es más tranquilo, hay menos ruido de carros, me gusta mi lugar. Bueno, en aquella época mi papá vino primero aquí a Bluefield y le gustó, miró que había oportunidades de trabajo. Entonces él se quedó después, él fue a traer a mi mamá al Pacífico. La fue a traer, entonces nos quedamos, aquí se quedaron ellos y aquí nacimos nosotros. Vieron que era muy buena la oportunidad por acá. Bueno, aquí casi la mayor no hay mucho matrimonio, pues para casarse legalmente casi no. No, casi poco. Pero, por ejemplo, en las comunidades las jóvenes tienen sexo muy joven.
¿Qué edad, por ejemplo?
Pueden ser de 12 años, 12 años o hasta 10 años, depende si tiene su desarrollo ellos. Pienso que también puede ser la falta de educación tal vez de ellos. Eso siempre pasa en las comunidades. Y puede ser también a través que ellos son abusados, las abusan también, puede ser que también salgan embarazadas. A los 12 años pueden tener bebé. 12 años aquí pueden tener bebé.
Throughout the whole interview, one of the biggest things I wanted to know was what the community was like in the Caribbean coast. The area around Bluefields contains a diverse group of people, such as the Mosquitos, Mestizos, Creoles, Ramas, and a variety of other indigenous groups. I wondered, would this diverse group of people, would they be able to get along? So I asked Ceci what the community was like.
Las comunidades,
Sí.
todas las comunidades,
Sí.
sí, están unidas.
Pero son diferentes.
Sí, son diferentes, sí. Bueno, somos... el Bluefield es como el centro. Y hay en las comunidades, aquí en Bluefield el gobierno todavía, el gobierno maneja a Bluefield. Pero en las comunidades las personas ahí mismo tienen su propio gobierno ellos, algunas comunidades. Por ejemplo, ellos tienen ahí un grupo de ancianos y ellos hacen para cualquier actividad, entonces entre ellos ahí hacen las actividades. Casi el gobierno no manda orientaciones, pues, pero ellos toman sus decisiones ahí. Ciertas comunidades.
As my days in Bluefields came to a close, I had to say bye to my dear friend Osa.
Osa peligrosa.
And say bye to the new friends that I made. I had an amazing experience that I will never forget.
¿Cómo se llama? Hillary. Hello. ¿Cómo se llama?
But it was time to go back to Managua and continue my research.
Early morning here in Bluefields. About to go walk to the Panga, Managua. Should be there around 2 p.m. today.
Back in Managua, I met up with my friend Angie, a student who has been living in Managua her whole life. I followed her throughout the day to find out what daily life is for someone living in Managua, and at the end I asked her some valuable questions.
So today it's a busy day. I need to wake up at 5:30 so that I can shower, so that I can get to on before 7 a.m. to managerial accounting. Then I have breakfast and I leave my house around 6:30. I usually get home around 6:40, and then I get to classroom, and then I head back home because I have my next class is art class, and that's till 2. So after environmental, I head back home, and usually I do nothing. Oh, I have lunch. Right, I have lunch at home. And then I have art class, which is from 2 till 3:50. Yeah, I get home around 8, and that's pretty much it.
After following my friend Angie throughout the whole day, I found that it was so different from the East Coast. In Managua, everyone was in a rush. Traffic was everywhere, and it felt like everyone had someplace to go. I also noticed that Managua is way more trendy than the East Coast. So trendy, they even have Western stores like Pull & Bear and Zara in the local mall. So with curiosity, I started diving deeper into the culture of Managua.
In Leon, in the evenings, you can see people outside of their house, like chilling and talking with their neighbors. Like, they have good relationships, and we don't get that too often here. I think everyone's busy here. This is kind of a selfish thought, but I would like to have Nicaragua developing super fast, because I like the way things are right now. It's not that I'm against development or anything, but I like the way we live. You know, we have peace. Just don't want it to become like a place where you can't see trees anymore in the streets.
Learning about the development and culture of the East and West Coast, I wanted to see what the perspective of a citizen from a highly developed country thought about Nicaragua. So I interviewed an American girl from Memphis, Tennessee, Hallie Wright.
Hi, I'm Hallie, I'm 21, and I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. It's very different from Managua. Like, the language is different. They don't speak Spanish there, really. They speak English and Creole, too. If everyone's really chill, if it's a nice day, everyone will leave their occupations and go to the beach. It's a really small place, so everyone knows everyone. Having like personal connections is really important there. It's pretty underdeveloped, but I think that's what makes it cool, and I think that's why like a lot of tourists, not a lot of tourists, but I think that's why tourists like to go there, because it seems more undiscovered. Everything. Technologies, they're kind of behind. Trying to print something out, it takes a very long time. The construction workers, like a majority of the time when I see them, they're laying on the ground, which is fine, but at home they're working like in the morning and at night. Maybe they're overworked.
After the fight for independence from the British Empire, the first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, once said, "To learn about culture is to widen the mind and the spirit." With interviews in a wrap and my journey at its end, the whole experience of learning about the East and West of Nicaragua has been enlightening. I learned so much about the different cultures and history, and also made amazing friends along the way. I learned that the East still has a long way to go with development. However, it is a beautiful place with a diverse population that manages to all get along. In the West, Managua is more developed, but there seems to be a lack of community, and compared to a highly developed country like the United States, it still has a lot more that can be done. Nicaragua is definitely not perfect, but I believe that it's like a masterpiece in the making, with artists still chipping away at the imperfections and creating something the world has never seen before.
This is such nice water. Dude.
Nicaragua is a country with such beautiful stories still waiting to be discovered. I've only just scratched the surface.